But why? Why is it so easy to focus on the negatives? And more importantly, how can we stop doing that? First thing I do when I wake up this morning is I go straight on my phone. I know it's bad. It's like the worst thing you can do. I was looking through the YouTube comments and I was looking at all the positivity that you guys give me, but then I come across one negative comment and I'm like, oh, that's not very nice. Then I find another negative comment and I'm like, this is kind of mean. Like, for some reason, this whole morning, I've just been fixated on these comments. And I know, like, being a YouTuber, like, it's a part of the job. You're gonna get negativity and hate, but I'm only human and I just feel like it's getting to me. As humans, we strive to have things in order. Well, majority of us do. And when I say have things in order, I'm talking about your friendships, your relationships, your work life, everything to do with that. This is what creates expectations. Now, there's nothing wrong with expectations. There's nothing wrong with putting your faith in other people and other things. But when something doesn't meet your expectations, that's where it can create disappointment, sadness, madness. Why? Why is it so easy to focus on the negatives? And more importantly, how can we stop doing that? A lot of the time, for most people, we're surrounded by a lot of positivity, but we don't really realize it because we don't focus on it, because that's what's normal, and that's a normal thing to do. But as soon as a negative thing comes around, or maybe a couple negative things come around, like maybe an insult to you or something like that, we tend to focus on that because by default, our brain alerts us to potential threats in the environment. And when we keep focusing on that and we don't try our best to get out of the rut of being focused on the negatives, that can spiral us down into negativity, depression, and just not feeling good at all. So how can you get out of this rut? How can you get out of thinking on the negatives and thinking more on the positives? You can do this in multiple ways. Like, you can redefine a negative moment in a more positive light, or you can be a bit humorous about it, maybe laugh about it. You might want to maybe go for a walk, or maybe go for a run, or maybe meditate, or maybe socialize with other people, or even just doing positive affirmations like self-talk, like saying, I will, I can, I am. Even though it might seem so negative and it might seem like the worst thing that's going on, you have to think about the positives to get yourself out of that rut. And it's fine to feel sad and upset and depressed for a little bit. If you don't feel those emotions, you can't move on from something and you can't learn from it. Like, you have to really feel it, but once you've felt it, that's when you have to really be like, okay, I need to start thinking more positively. When you do this, it comes down to repetition. It's the same with anything. Repetition is the mother of skill. The more you do that, the more you'll be able to have that strength to get out of that negative mindset. When you're driving your car and say you're trying to go to a friend's place and you've never been to their place before, you have to follow Google Maps to go there the first time because you've never been there before. But then the second time that you go to their place, you probably won't need Google Maps because you can just go there and, like, you kind of know the route, but you might have a bit of trouble. Third time you go there, it's even easier. And then, like, the more you go there, the more you do it, the easier it becomes to get to that place without even thinking about it. It's the exact same thing as positive thinking when you're in that negative mindset. The more you think positively, the more natural it becomes to you, and the more easier it's just gonna be to remain positive and happy. And so at the end of the day, the more you do that, the happier you'll be. So if someone said something negative to you, or there's something that's just really bringing you down at the moment, just really dig deep and think, okay, what are the positives in my life? So get up off the ground, get back on your horse, let's get back into it. All right, question of the day. What's your morning routine? I mean, do you exercise? What kind of breakfast is your favorite? So the very first thing I do when I get up in the morning, I'll check my phone, and I'm trying to not do that. When I don't check my phone, first thing that I'll usually do is I'll go for a walk. I'll kind of think about things, like think about ideas and video things. If I'm feeling a bit stressed out, I might come back and meditate, and then I'll have breakfast, and then I'll get my day started. But sometimes I'll have breakfast before I go out for a walk. Anyways, if you guys found this video useful, or if it made you feel better in any sort of way, maybe consider liking and subscribing. It's up to you. You know what to do. It was awesome hanging out with you guys again, and I'll catch you guys next time.